So it's a Grape Explorer talking about today. So one of the most interesting areas of the world of wine today is Germany, and I'm going to explain Germany and in depth today a little bit because it was one of the first areas that I actually started out in the wine business. We're talking early 1980s, 1981, 82. And at that time, German wines were really fashionable. A lot of people were really drinking German wines. One of the theories behind that at the time was a lot of U.S. troops were stationed in Germany even after World War II, because we had a lot of bases in Germany. So there was a lot of the troops and everything had a chance to travel all throughout Germany, taste wines. Then they came back to America, obviously after they were done with their tour of duty, and they basically, fell in love with German wines on their tour over in Germany, and so. And now German wines are coming today, so that's what we call it, the past, the present, and the future. And we're trying to at least zero in today on Germany for a number of reasons. So we want to show you on the big map here, obviously Germany, quite a large area right here, wine producing regions. We are going to zoom in on this one area though today, which is called the Rhine Hessen, which is this green area right here. And of course, you have the Rhine, which is the River Rhine, which is running right through here. And you also have what's called the Rheingau, which is right above here. And then you have the Nahe region, this N-A-H-E, right here, Nahe region. And then you got the Mosel, and that's another river that runs on that side. They're all by the river, and historically, we're talking the Romans were the ones that planted grapes here. So we're talking well over 2,000 years ago. This era of vinicultural starting, but what's the key thing there is Riesling, and that's a good start because a lot of people don't really understand this grape Riesling, but I'm going to get into it a little bit. But today we're also going to operate here on this label and show you how to read a German wine label. So as you can see at the top here, we have the name of the producer, which is Fritz Windisch right here. So you've got the name Fritz Windisch on the top. It's a very fancy label, as you can see. So this family goes back to the 1700s, and they're very, very proud of their heritage. That's why this label is so beautiful, the way it's designed. You have the vintage here, which is 2018. Then you have what's called a single vineyard right here to identify that this comes from a vineyard. It's called Alzeyr Zibbel Einstein right here. So you can see this name of this vineyard here. Then you have what's called the grape right here, which is Riesling. And then you also have Kabinett. Now this is what they call the degree of sweetness. And this is called a pradikat. And a pradikat is when they pick the grapes, they want to show you exactly the dryness or the sweetness of the wines. But this wine is trocken, which means dry. So it already tells you that it's going to be a Kabinett level wine. Trocken meaning very, very dry. Rhine Hessen is the area where it's from. They're very proud of that. And that's the reason why the bottle is brown. So the reason I'm saying that is because if you go to the Mosel and you see their bottles, they're going to be green. So that's to give you an idea between the Mosel and the Rhine. The Rhine always brown. The Mosel is going to be green. Then they have another wine category, which is right here. So this is a blue bottle, and it's called a QBA, which means Qualitätswein. It's quality wine. And if you look on the back, it tells you exactly what the grape is. It's Riesling. And the blue bottle is like a fanciful way of identifying a QBA wine, a Qualitätswein or a quality wine. This is actually from the producer Ray, so they do that because a lot of people like blue bottles, and historically the Germans were kind of the first ones to really put a wine in a blue bottle. So it's just to identify the quality level of the wine, which again is where you start. You start here at a QBA level, and then you move your way up to what's called a Kabinett. So, and the different predicates, and we can talk about that another time, but I'll give you just a heads up. It starts with Kabinett, and then the next level of sweetness is a Spätlese, and then the next level of sweetness is an Auslese. And they even have sweeter wines. One is called a Beerenauslese, and then Trocken Beerenauslese. We in the trade call it a TBA because we don't want to say Trocken Beerenauslese. And then they even have an ice vine, which that's when they pick the grapes. Actually, when they're frozen grapes, So we want to look on the map though and identify a little bit of this area, which is if you can see right here, Momenheim is all the way up here. You got Nierstein is the larger city, and then you have this smaller village, which is called Momenheim. So we're trying to really help identify, exactly on the label when we go into a store, and we're not sure about what to pick out in German wines. And the reason why we're looking for a German wine is, let's say you're having a different meal, especially like an Asian cuisine, like Thai food or Chinese food, or any kind of food that has spiciness to it. Even Japanese food goes perfect with Riesling wines, and also Indian curries. So if anything's really spicy, you have to try Riesling, because what it does is it tempers the heat a little bit, but also it goes with all the spiciness. So we in the trade always consider German wines and Riesling to be the most versatile grape. That's why you need to learn about it. But when you're going into a store, you need to look at the label, identify the name of the producer, the region, the area, and understand, brown bottle is going to be from the Rhine, and the Rhine, the soil composition is completely different than the Mosel. So that's the reason why it's good to know these geographical areas. Again, this is a Grape Explorer, always talking about wine to try to help people out there, and we're always here for you. Cheers.